Welcome, to the Rustenburg Podcast.
Good morning, Molweni, Goeiemorgen, whatever time you're catching this conversation, but I'm telling you right now, we are recording in the early hours, just top of the morning. They say that in radio, just 8:15 in the morning. That's why we're using the word good morning. And this is one of the conversations that I'm very excited about. And I think this is going to take a really different spin. I've got my co-pilot with me, Vanessa Joseph. V, how are you? You're sitting in the hot seat.
Super excited. Thank you for inviting me.
Pleasure. And of course, we're having a conversation with Alex Wallace. I don't think there's anyone at Rustenburg Girls Junior who's part of our community who does not know who Alex Wallace is. I think, do you have the context of all the parents here?
I think some parents probably wish they had never met.
Yeah. So we're very excited, and you looking all red, Valentine. You always spread this love. Where does that come from?
I don't know. I said to Vanessa the other day, I don't know how to be anything else but what I am.
Yeah.
I grew up in a really mad family where we expressed our emotions, bad, good, crazy, whatever.
Yeah.
We were allowed to be who we are.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to be anything else. So when my mom used to say, when Alex is sad, the world cries. When Alex is happy, the world smiles. And when Alex is angry, run.
Yeah. No, I mean, I can relate with that, because when Alex is happy, you can feel it in this whole building. Yeah.
Absolutely.
V, and how's it been working with Alex?
Oh, it's been amazing. It's been an absolute honor.
Yeah.
Last 3 years has been just wonderful coming into this office and having that sort of aura.
Yeah. Did you find Alex here?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
And, I didn't think anything about not getting on with her, from day one.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, we can do this.
Okay.
And we have.
Yeah.
And I'm going to miss her terribly.
Yeah.
I really am. But I know she's doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And we support her.
Yeah. Okay. I want to maybe let's make it about L.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's take away V. So L, let's speak about where it all started. Where were you born and all of that?
I was born in Cape Town, in Pinelands.
Yeah.
And my dad was in the bank, so he got transferred a lot. So when I was 2, we went over to the UK and we lived in Epsom in England.
Yeah.
And I was there for probably 2 years. I think we came back to Cape Town when I was about 4, and we were hardly here a couple of months, and my dad was transferred to Johannesburg.
Yeah.
So we went to Joburg. I lived in Northcliffe in Johannesburg and went to Northcliffe Primary, my first school. And then a couple of years later, we were transferred to Durban.
Sure.
And I lived in Westville in Durban and went to Westville Infants and were there for a couple of years. And then we were transferred back to Johannesburg and we lived in Saxonwold in Joburg.
Yeah.
And I went to Rosebank Primary Junior there, and then went to Parktown Girls High. And then I studied beauty therapy when I finished school. My father wanted me to go into the bank, and I said, no way, Jose.
No, but I can still see the beauty therapy in every time I come in at Rustenburg.
I was one of those children. I actually wanted to do speech therapy, and I wanted to come to Cape Town Varsity, and my father said, you are not leaving home, you will stay here. So I said, fine, then I will do something you don't want me to do, and I will do the beauty therapy, which I loved. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
And I stayed in Joburg. My folks moved back to Cape Town, and I said no, I was going to stay there. I stayed in Joburg for about a year or so, and then came back to Cape Town. And I then went into retail, and I worked in cosmetics in retail, started off at Clicks, some places, and then went to Edgar's. Yeah. And after Edgar's, I then worked for Lancome, and I worked for Johnson & Johnson, which is Rock Cosmetics, was my last job. And I was area manager when I was working for Lancome and for Rock. So I loved that. It was my life. I used to do training. I used to do loads and loads of things. And it was everything to me. So it was hard to leave. But I left when Courtney was born. I stopped working for a year. And then went back and joined Johnson & Johnson. And then...
This is all happening in Joburg?
No, this was here.
Oh, now you've moved in. Yeah.
And we actually lived when Dave and I got married, we moved out to Gordons Bay because he was working in Grabo. And Courtney was born. I took a year off, and then we moved back to Cape Town itself, and I lived in Fishhook for a while, and then moved to Newlands when Courtney started school here. So I've been all over the world and back again.
Quite a versatile portfolio. I mean, if someone doesn't know you, wouldn't know like you've got the power to adapt, which I think we need in today's age. We saw with COVID-19 what happened there, where people had to change and shift and do things in the new ways. But you've been in different environments, like in different spaces, and you've been able to adapt, whether you're in Cape Town, whether you're in Joburg, whether you're in Durban. They're all different environments, by the way. As a Joburger, you can attest that.
That's what allows Alex to be so professional in her
role.
It allows her that change of role. So when she needs to be strict, she's strict. But within a second, she's over that, and then she moves on to the next. Which has been very beneficial for Rustenburg.
And I want to touch on your personal life. Let's be. You just said right now when Gordon and you got married. David? Sorry. David and you got married. Where did you meet?
Well, firstly, just to let you know, I don't drink a lot. But when I was working at Edgar's, we had this thing that we went, the group, I headed up the cosmetic area. And the girls and I always said on a Wednesday night, we're going to go to Forries and we're going to enjoy ourselves. And I went to Forries one Wednesday and I happened to meet my husband. And of all places, I would not have imagined I would have met my husband at a pub. But I did.
Sure. Okay, cool. And then let's speak about your time at Rustenburg. Maybe, how did you start interacting with Rustenburg?
Well, as I say, when Courtney was born, we were in Fishhook, and I had always said I didn't want her to go to school in Fishhook. So we wanted to move at some stage, and we moved to Newlands, and I battled to find a school for her that would take her, because in those days you had to be in the area.
Yes.
So my mom had been at Rustenburg in the late 30s. And we had, of course, been in Joburg, so I never came here. And Carrie had been at Rustenburg, so Dave and I decided that maybe we should see if we could come here. And they were starting their first grade R class. So I came along and they said, no, with pleasure. And she started in grade R at Rustenburg here.
Sure.
So I got very involved later when I stopped working. I got very involved with the school. And I used to always be, doing whatever in the class and used to come and help them. And then I started doing fundraising for the school. So I was literally at the school every day of Courtney's schooling, doing phoning and fundraising, doing one thing and another.
Well, you still paying the school fees though. You're raising money for them.
Raising money and paying school fees. Gotta pay school fees.
And maybe let's take us through some of the memories you've had with Al.
I think that every single day is a memory with Alex. There is not one day that we haven't laughed. And that carries us through, because it can be rather stressful. But Alex just makes it feel a lot easier. A lot at ease. We're very different, and Alex will tell you that. We are so different. We come from different backgrounds. But we just gel, and we make it easier on each other. I mean, she's always my support structure. She's always giving me advice, always. And, I listen, because you go back and you reflect and you think, hey, you know what? I wouldn't have done that had I not spoken to Alex. So she has played a huge role in how I'm dealing with the position that I'm dealing with. And I just want to say thank you. There's not enough words to actually explain what a lovely relationship we have had in the last 3 years.
And you've got secrets.
Absolutely. She carries a lot of secrets she's taking with her. But, I do, we made a quite a good bond. And I think we will still be in contact with each other. Because it's been amazing. It's been an amazing journey with Alex. We've learned so much from each other. I can't pinpoint one event that stands out because, like I said, every day is an experience with Alex. I'm going to miss that.
Okay. And then maybe just take us about, talk to us about maybe one of your best memories ever since you've been with Rustenburg.
I think one of my best memories is probably one of my saddest memories. When David died, I never thought I'd carry on. And Rustenburg held me up. And if it hadn't been for them, I don't think I would have made it. Sorry. But the one thing I always remember, and I always say to Nongi Mitsi, at Dave's funeral, there were so many people, and some people were sitting outside the church, and Nongi was sitting in a chair in the doorway. And I just remember when I got up to speak, I just saw Nongi. And if I hadn't have seen Nongi, I don't think I would have had the courage to carry on. There was somebody who I'd known for so many years who I'd always felt a connection with. And she was there, and she was my rock. And I just watched her, and I wouldn't know who else was there, but Nongi was there. So, it was a real learning curve that people that weren't family couldn't be family to you at such a hard time. And they've been with me through so many special moments in my life and shared in them. And I think that's important. The school is a family. And you've got to let them in. But they have been my rock and my safe place.
The beauty about like the Rustenburg community, and I think also the difficulties of your role as you speak, and I can just imagine that when you go through tough times and difficult times, that whenever a stranger walks in, a potential parent or a parent that doesn't know you, or a parent that had a bad day or bad interaction with the teacher in a classroom, you literally are the first person they see, they interact with, they speak to, and you could be having a very bad day or a tough time. But how do you manage with situations like that? How do you happen to carry on smiling from morning until late as if like, as a human being, there is no challenge?
It's easy to smile. I think it's easier to smile than to get angry. Because too many emotions with anger. There are times that I get upset. Everybody knows. And they're over in a flash. I think I'm a bit schizophrenic, but never mind. I just think that meeting so many different people and going through things and being able to help people. I love helping people. I find it easier to be helpful and to be kind and to be happy. And that doesn't mean that I don't have other emotions, because I definitely do. But I think I would expect when I came into a school to be greeted warmly. And I hope that 90% of the time I have done that.
99.9% of the time.
I'd like to just add on. I think with Alex, what you see is what you get. She deals with everybody individually. So she doesn't carry the emotion of the previous person into the next scenario, which allows her to be, to handle any situation she's given. If she's angry with you, she's not going to carry it through to the next parent. She's going to carry on professionally, and this is my job, and this is who I am, and I'm going to be, portraying the image of what Rustenburg is at the moment.
Sure. V, how do you think you're going to mix Alex? How are you going to remember her? She's alive. She's still a phone call away, I know.
I think my fondest remembrance would be Alex's smile. And also the way she deals with conflict. The way she deals with adaptation. I've got to constantly remember that Alex is actually a very mature person in how she she handles her job. And there's always, like, I'm always listening to her on the phone. I'm always looking at how she handles the children. I'm like amazed at how she handles the children. I sometimes ask her for advice on my kids, which I carry through at home. So there's a lot of things Alex is left with me. And it's been a short time with her. It really has, but she's impacted my life quite substantially. And I'm very grateful. So I think she's going to leave a lot of positivity with me. And she's a phone call away. Or a WhatsApp message away.
Sure. You've impacted a lot of people's life, and particularly we've got a message for you from someone that's not in this room that wants to express how you've impacted her life and what you've done for her. I'm going to ask Dave to play the message for you.
Hello to everyone listening today. It really feels so surreal to be recording this and even thinking of my mom retiring. I remember it's just like the other day that she told us she was going to be applying for the job, and just being so excited that Rustenburg was still going to be, a part of our family, especially as I had matriculated in 2012 and Mom started in 2013. It just felt normal and natural for Rustenburg to still be there. And I remember being so proud and still being so proud that she kind of went out of her comfort zone and applied. I remember many a conversation about if she was the right fit and if it was the right job for her. And I mean, I think the last 11 years or whatever have proven that it was such a good fit, and she was such a good fit and is such a good fit for Rustenburg and for that front office. And I really struggle now to even think of that front office without her. And I'm sure many other people feel that way too. She has really livened it up and created a very warm, inviting atmosphere there, I think. And I really, as I say, I really am incredibly proud of what she has done and how she's grown in the job. And it is sad. It's sad to think that, an era is coming to an end, not only a Rustenburg era, but just an era for my mom, and, her true working days are going to be behind her, and, she's going to become our granny nanny. And I really do feel so incredibly blessed and lucky to have not only her as Oliver's gran, but also just someone that I know and trust to look after him when I go back to work. So I really just hope that he doesn't drive her insane. I know she will be busy in a very different way than to what she is at Rustenburg. But I really, really am so thankful and so grateful for the opportunity that she's given me to be able to go back to work, but also to know that our son has someone so special looking after him. And I'm really glad that they have that opportunity to bond and get to know each other, and that she will have lots of fun with him. Of that I have no doubt. So yeah, just thank you to Rustenburg for looking after her all these years, but also just thank you for letting her go and letting her come and look after Oliver. But I really do think it's been 11 years of incredible fun, incredible learning experiences, and I know she will miss it, and I don't think she'll be too far away. I'm sure she will come and visit, but it really has been a remarkable 11 years, and I think she leaves the place a lot better than when she found it, and I think they're very lucky to have had her. There we go.
Oh, that child should be there for me.
Yeah. What do you want to say back to her?
She is my heart, honestly. From the day she came into this world, she smiled. She she was given the wrong injection when she was born, and we were worried that we would lose her. But she fought, and she has spent her life fighting and being amazing at what she does. She teaches high school, and just the other day, her matrics sent her a message to say they really needed her help.
Yeah.
And this daughter of mine with a 4-month-old baby boy had a video call with them for 2 hours to talk to them about how their English exams would be and how they should handle them and what they should do. And she never ceases to amaze me.
Yeah.
I can't believe she's mine because I don't know where she got it from. She definitely got some of her father's traits.
Yeah.
But she is an absolute joy. She is so full of love and so full of fun, full of nonsense. And she makes me laugh, she makes me cry, and I couldn't be prouder.
Yeah.
I believe very strongly in that children should be brought up to be strong.
Yeah.
I don't believe in namby-pambying them. They must learn that life is hard, that they are loved, and that they must go forward with their shoulders high and learn to deal with all the things. And my daughter has made me very proud the way she's handled life. And I love her.
Sure.
With all my heart.
Sure. Thank you, V, for organizing that. It was V that got that. Let's speak about one day on the 20th of September 2024 when you walk out of this door, when it's your last day, when you've packed your desk, when you drive out, when you give Marshall that remote, and it's done now. How do you want to be remembered?
I think I will always remember the happy times.
Yeah.
They truly have been my family. They've been good times, they've been bad times, as with any job, and that makes the job more special.
Yeah.
Because it's life.
Yeah.
The kids, when they come in and they smile and they run up and hug you, or they're crying because something has upset them, and you can help them through. And I always act a bit silly, especially with the little ones.
Yeah.
And tell them silly stories. And I love children, but they hold a very special place in my heart. And along with that, the teachers and the staff that you learn things about, and they become part of your life.
Yeah.
And you may never socialize with them out of school, but they are still embedded in there.
Yeah.
And as I say, they've had my back through good and bad. And I can never be able to say thank you enough to everybody for everything they've done, from the good times and the bad times, because the bad times make you stronger, and the good times make you laugh.
Sure.
And they're all very, very special. And it's going to be hard to walk out this door. It will always be part of my life.
Yeah.
And whether you like it or not, I'll be coming to visit with Ollie. And it will always have a very, very special place. I think starting here, when I was doing fundraising, that it was incredible to walk down the corridors that my mother had walked down. And I don't know, it leaves like it's to me, it's been part of my life forever.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine it not being part of my life.
Sure. Okay. And then V, what do you finally want to say to Al?
I just want to say to Al, you are giving your daughter such an awesome gift. I mean, as a mom, handing over your child to your mother or to the granny is like, wow. As you just feel so content and comfortable going into your workspace because you know your child is going to be catered for.
Yeah.
And I take my hat off to you for taking this opportunity. Courts, you are so lucky. Oliver is going to have a blast. I mean, if you look at our intercom messages, you will know this lady's got a lot of character. But, I am going to miss you, but I don't think it's going to be goodbye.
Yeah.
I'm going to miss, having that long space of time with her that we spend most of the time. I mean, 8 hours, I think, together. But I do believe that Elle is giving such a good gift to Courtney.
Yeah.
That I can't stand in her way. You know, I'm just so proud, and I admire her for what she's doing.
Yeah.
But we are gonna miss her.
Sure.
It's gonna be a change.
Yeah.
And you know, that's part of life.
Yeah.
We carry on, and I've made a good friend. I've made a very good friend and a lasting friend.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not goodbye for me.
Yeah, it is see you later. Cool. Elle, thank you very much for what you've done for Rustenburg, and personally for me, you know, as someone who was from Joburg, all new here. I think my experience and interacting with you, even the first day I came here, before even accepting the job and officially starting, I think I came here 3 weeks or 4 weeks before for Pam to give me the tour and all of those things. But like I got to meet you first, and that for me cemented how the whole experience of Rustenburg was going to be. Before I even met Pam, before she gave me a tour, before I met Belinda, before all of those things, that interaction. And I'm going to miss personally coming early in the morning. And, you know, it's so strange how maybe sometimes we don't see the impact that people have on us. That I know that even in the worst days, as I walk into this office, early in the morning, I am required to smile to start my day because I'm meeting up with someone who's always joyful, who always brings that smile. So it changes and shifts my mental state on how I deal with things. There's days where I come in and I know it's a very stressful day for me. I'm planning A and B and C. But because I am meeting up with Alex in the morning and Vanessa, and I'm going to say good morning, that shifts the whole mindset. And thank you. Thank you for what you've done for Rustenburg, for what you've done for staff members over and beyond. And it shows really what you spoke about your daughter being selfless and getting on the call with Matrix. She does take from you. She does take from you, where you have to sometimes forget a little bit about Elle for someone else, you know, and thank you. I think that's my parting ways.
Hello, I can never thank you enough.
Yeah.
You know, when I think of you, I just think of this beaming smile.
Yeah.
And you're always busy, like Pam. I mean, running around like a mad thing. I have been so blessed in this place.
Yeah.
You know, I had a very good relationship with Jill, who was here before. When Vanessa started, you were always a little bit uncertain as to how things will be, and we have made lifelong friends.
Yeah.
There are so many people in this place that are family.
Yeah.
And I will never forget them. And I hope that I've brought joy, because there's nothing better than laughing and being silly. Yeah. And I hope the girls learn that life is hard, and sometimes you've got to knuckle down and do what you got to do.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, laugh, smile, and love.
Sure.
That's all you have to do.
Cool. There we go, Rusty Bugs. I'm not going to add in any words. Thank you very much for joining us, family. And remember what Elle said. Love, smile, and I forgot the last one. Love.
Always love.
Cool. Thank you. And we out of here. Cool.